Hello, and welcome to the SecurityOrb Show. My name is Caleb Charles, your host. The SecurityOrb Show is a show about information security, digital privacy, and internet safety, and the contributors in that field. Today, I'll have the honor of speaking to Richard Greenberg, who is the current president of the Information Systems Security Association, Los Angeles chapter. The SecurityOrb Show can be found at www.securityorb.com. That's securityorb.com, as well as on Twitter and Facebook. When we come back, our discussion with Richard Greenberg. And hello everyone, welcome back to the SecurityOrb Show. Again, my name is Caleb Charles. And as stated, I have Richard Greenberg with me today. Richard is the president of the Information System Security Association in Los Angeles. Hello, Richard. How are you doing?
Hey, Caleb. It's great to speak with you again. It's been several years since I had an interview with you, but I was looking forward to this very much.
Yeah. I think the last time we had an interview was at Hackers Halted when it was in Miami, but since then it's moved to Atlanta. I'm not sure if you've been to any other Hackers Halted since that time.
No, I went to a few in Miami, good city for a conference, and it was a pleasure meeting you there and having a chance to catch up with you recently as well.
Sure, great, no problem. So let's begin. Currently, you are the president of the Information Systems Security Association, the Los Angeles chapter. If you can, in a nutshell, explain to me the ISSA and its mission and so forth.
Sure. The ISSA chapter in Los Angeles was actually the founding chapter of the ISSA International, which has been around for over 20 years and has chapters throughout the world. Our mission, we look at ourselves as the premier catalyst and the source of information for Southern California to both professionals and businesses to help improve the practice of security and awareness. We've also got a lot of educational programs for InfoSec folks and IT professionals, and we have a lot of outreach programs for business, government, financial, and nonprofits. And so we're always looking to improve our outreach and to get the word out about security.
Very good, very good. So before you became president, I guess you had served time as VP, and also you were awarded the ISSA Fellow. If you could explain to me what that is, the Fellow, and what is the role of a person who holds the title of Fellow?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Caleb. I appreciate it. Just a word before I answer your question. For those of you in the InfoSec profession, it's rare that we actually get recognition. We're busy working behind the scenes, and the only time we're recognized typically is when something goes wrong. So ISSA has set up a recognition program. They have a senior, they have a fellow, they have a distinguished fellow, and it's based on years of service to the community and to the InfoSec profession, selfless dedication, to help in various ways, and they have a selection committee that evaluates prospective folks that would be looking for this honor. And I was nominated and was very honored indeed to receive that. And they do this yearly, and they have a presentation ceremony at one of their ISSA international conferences. So that's what that was about.
Well, congratulations on that. Definitely congratulations on that. So now you're the president of the chapter, the Los Angeles chapter. What are some of your goals for this upcoming year?
Just a quick word. Also, I might be the president, but we've got a strong board of 9 elected board of directors, and I like to look at us all as leaders of the chapter, and I just happen to have that title. But we're a strong, cohesive group that like to discuss things together and help improve. And I think that's one of the things that's made us a success. I've heard about several other organizations where there's one or two people doing all the work. Mm-hmm. It's much more difficult because we've got a lot on our plate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the saying is 80% of the people do 20% of the work, while 20% of the people will do 80% of the work.
yeah, that's heard that. But we've been lucky that we keep bringing in new folks. We've had a turnover this year. We had in mid-year we had a couple of folks who stepped off the board, and we replaced them with two new folks, and we have two more dropping off for next year. So we're looking for some new people that will help drive our mission.
Okay, great. But again, I guess as president, I guess what is your goal? What are some of the missions and certain things that you hope to bring in for the time that you are president?
Well, my mission basically at this point is I want us to get back to our roots, to our core, the InfoSec members in our community. We basically want to spend our resources to provide basically the de facto place that people can go to find out what's going on, to interact with people, to learn, to get educational offerings, and to just share their information, because we're all, quote, the village. That's one of our logos, that we're the village. And I want that to be a place where people can be comfortable coming, sharing their thoughts and their feedback. If you have been paying attention, which I'm sure everyone listening to this has, the hacker community has united and is sharing information, building upon existing attack sharing vector information. It's really difficult for us to stand alone and try to combat that and move our defenses around, and let's all share our experiences. President Obama talked about that as well, trying to get government and organizations, companies share threat intelligence and their experiences about what happened. The whole thing, it's something that's still being worked on, but at our level and where we are, we're trying as well.
And one of the things that I noticed you stated in your letter from the president was the community outreach program. So the community outreach program, is that what you've just explained, or is there another component to the whole community outreach program?
Yeah, so previously we had been focusing a lot on building up relations with the business community. We think we've done a really good job with that. You know, we've created the financial services work group that involves people in the financial business, banking, for example, as well as law enforcement. And we've also put on our executive forum each year for business executives at our summit. We've also brought several businesses into our advisory board, which has been in place for several years. They help support us in our outreach efforts to the community. So much of this is to help drive the awareness of the security challenges to the business professionals. We know that we have all our security professionals working hard and trying to get the word up. Hey, you know, we have to do this, you have to, not about spending the money per se, but just how the organizations create their defenses, you know, and that needs upper management support. And so security professionals trying to go up through the organizational structure. Some folks are successful, many others are not. And those of you listening probably understand where I'm going. But if we go directly on a straight line across to the C-suite of many businesses here in L.A., and get the word out to them through our community outreach, now we've provided another way of getting that word, not just going up from the security professional, but going across and even down to get the decision makers at organizations to support us in what we're trying to do to protect men.
Very interesting. Definitely like that. Very nice approach. Let's kind of shift gears a little bit to the Security Summit. This past June, I think it was the 7th annual ISSA-LA Security Summit. If you can, and I'm not sure how far back you go with the Security Summits, if you could kind of give me an evolution from your perspective of the security summits that you've been involved with up until the recent one that happened, the 7th annual one.
All right, thanks. I'll actually do you one better. I'll go back even a little further. We used to have a joint summit between Orange County and L.A., but with the size of the potential audiences and the amount of dedication from both boards, it was an easy thing to create two separate ones, and both are highly successful. As a matter of fact, Orange County is coming up in the next week, and they've got Brian Krebs keynoting. So that's a wonderful thing that they've got going on there. But 7 years ago, and plus a little more, we split out and started doing our own. We used to have it at UCLA. I was involved in helping set all that, coordinate that, and that was wonderful, but we outgrew it. So we moved our way over to the Universal City Hilton, which is a beautiful facility up there looking at the mountains and the Hollywood Hills. And then this past year, we made the move to the LA Convention Center, looking for more space, both for our attendees and our vendors. And it was a really good experience. We had a highly successful summit. Our keynotes, Bruce Schneier and Dave Kennedy, gave really great talks, as we anticipated. Now, the move to the convention center brought all kinds of room for us to spread out, but we had a lot of feedback from folks. They liked the intimacy and the beauty of the Universal City location. So we're going back there for Summit 8, which is going to be on May 19th and 20th in 2016. And we're going to be starting our search now for keynote speakers. We set a really high bar because prior to Bruce and David joining us and bringing the house down, basically, our previous 2 years we had Richard Clark, named author and the person who tried to convince President Bush about the dangers coming towards us prior to 9/11, and Howard Schmidt, former ISSA president and also cyber czar at the White House for several years. So we're looking now to see who we can get to bring to LA for our Summit 8. We love having this because it brings together people from all kinds of work. Because we have, as I mentioned earlier, the executive forum, we've got a lot of business leaders in there. We also have a law enforcement joining us. I work for Los Angeles County, and our district crime unit and the Secret Service join us as well. And there's a really good community here in LA where we all share information. And some of the talks are really enlightening and sometimes very entertaining as well.
Right.
We always have a day of training as well that people could sign up. We have 3 or 4 concurrent full-day trainings that we try to give for a really low price and try to pick things that are appealing to the community. Go ahead.
And one of the key things that I was pretty impressed is definitely with Bruce Schneider and David Kennedy as keynotes was a great way to start the event, but also the list of speakers. It seemed like you had a very pretty good list of speakers, individuals that are pretty well known, that are pretty embedded into the industry. So were those also invites to come and speak at the event, or did you have like a call for paper that opened and they gravitated to your particular event?
Well, I have to admit, we didn't do a call for papers. I've been very busy outside of my normal day job, in evenings and communications, meeting people, just my nature. And I've seen some fantastic speakers. You know, when I went to Hacker Halted, I brought back several from there, such as Kevin Cardwell, right? Mm-hmm. Joe McRae, and Steve Marcus. I met them all at Hacker Halted. Other people I met through my association with ISSA. For a while, I was on their CISO executive forum. Met a whole bunch of people like Eric Copperwaith and John Dixon. And, you know, a lot of the people here in our community, like Assistant DA Joey Esposito, are very involved in our community. So with all the people that I knew, it was an easy thing, right? Another organization that we have here is CISO Forum, where locally we just get together and share ideas. I met Malcolm Harkins there and several other people. And, you know, we just have good community. Now, the other thing that I have going for me is I'm the president of the Los Angeles OWASP chapter. And through my interactions and dealings with OWASP, I have a whole large community of folks in the web application security field. And that's really an important thing. It used to be the leading attack vector before phishing is now taken over. But
exactly.